Hello, my name is Clyde and I've developed a very handy vegetable planting slide chart that works throughout most of North America, and you might want to carry it in your retail store. The chart is a great teaching tool and it can be customized with your store's name and contact information and logo, so it makes a great promotional item also. Let me show you how it works. Alright, this is the spring side of the chart, and you'll notice that there is a red average frost line, and that frost line slides, and what you do is you slide it on the horizontal calendar to your local frost date. And once it's in place, each column here is a week, and FP represents the first outdoor planting week for each garden vegetable. The early crops like peas and spinach and cabbage, they plant ahead of the frost, while and they're called the cold crops. And the warmer crops, like peppers and tomatoes, they wait until about 4 weeks after the average frost, and that's called the frost-free date. The green check marks give you the expected harvest dates, and the indoor seeding dates are marked so you know when to put your flats out in the house so that they'll be ready at the appropriate time to go outside. And you'll notice that there is a little legend down here to help you with it. Flip the chart up and slide it open, and your planting data comes into view. You've got the quantity of seed for a 10-foot row, the planting depth for putting the seeds into the ground, the distance between rows, the distance between plants so that they're not overcrowded, the sunlight requirements in case you have shaded areas in your garden, the expected yield from a 10-foot row, like the pounds of produce that you can expect to get, and the natural companions for companion planting. And those are plants that benefit from being planted close together. Their roots assist one another. Again, that's the spring side of the chart. If you want to do a fall garden, you flip the chart over and to the fall side and slide it to your fall frost date, and it gives you the LP as the last outdoor planting week for each garden vegetable, so that it won't be destroyed by the frost. And all the information for planting and the activity there is reordered based on the nature of the fall planting and fall gardening. If you don't know your frost dates, that's okay, because the instructions come with a listing of frost dates throughout the United States and Canada. On the back of the instructions you'll find the frost dates listed for both spring and fall, and they're recorded by state and city, so you can find a city near you and get a good approximate frost date for your area. Here's an example. Baltimore, Maryland, the average last spring frost is April 20th, and the average first fall frost is October 20th. As you can see, the chart is packed with information, and the time-phased view makes it really easy to use, which is valuable to new gardeners and experienced gardeners alike. And provision of the frost dates for both spring and fall means that you don't have to call anyone. It's really a handy chart. We have been selling the chart for about 16 years, and we're just now getting close to selling about 250,000 of them. The vast majority of them have been customized so that they could be used both as a teaching tool and as a promotional item. And at this point you may be beginning to realize that it really has promotional value and value to improve the customer service side of the business. So let me give you some ideas of the most effective uses for the chart and to add value at your store. First of all, it would be smart if your employees and the associates in your store watched the demonstration video, became familiar with the chart, and understand how to use it so that they can use it to help the gardening customers. Then punch a hole in the chart and hang it near your seed bar so it's available for helping, and mark it with your local frost date, like I did this one right here, so that it's easy to use for helping. Take a look. Once your folks are trained, when people come in, you can begin to help them. And always there's someone in the spring who comes in and they're really anxious to get their crops out, and they want to put their tomatoes or peppers out in the garden too early. And they're a bit misguided. And you can help them by taking them to the chart as it's hanging there by the seed bar, and pulling it open, set it in place, and show them now. You have to wait until about 4 weeks after the frost date before you put your peppers and tomatoes out, and basically give them a word of caution and keep them from making a mistake. And they're going to appreciate your concern, and they're also going to notice, gee, that guy's got a dandy chart. Okay? If someone comes in and they're looking for their indoor seeding dates, they're not sure when to put their flats out in the house, you can just walk over and set the chart to the frost date and show them, now here's the SI is your indoor seeding dates, so you can get them in at the right time and then put them out later at the correct time for our local area. Okay. If a customer has a problem with shade, say they're not getting a lot of sunlight in their garden, but they still want to grow something, and you say, well, we've got a little chart to help you with that. These items right here require full sun, so they might not do good in your garden, sir, but this group right here is mostly partial sun. You ought to consider trying them. They'll probably grow in your garden, even though it's shaded. All right. If a customer comes in and they're interested in companion planting, okay, companion planting's all the rage right now, and it makes sense to put things close together that are naturally helping each other. Okay, so you've got a chart that helps them with that. This list over here is companion plants that go along with the vegetables that you normally have in your garden right there. Say that the customer is not sure about their planting depth and how deep they should plant and how far apart. Well, you've got a chart that helps them with that, and you can take them over and show them. Here's all your seeding information right here. Okay, and even the quantity of seed is right there for them, so they don't buy too much or too little. Let's say that a customer is interested in finding out how much they're going to get out of their garden. The chart also provides that information. Right here we've got the expected yield for a 10-foot row. Some customers might be interested in doing a fall garden. You roll the chart over, slide it to your fall frost date, and now you can help them as they want to get started with the right timing of events for a fall garden. I like doing a fall garden. We have really good fall gardens here. It seems like there's less bugs, and like right now it's December, and we're eating some Chinese cabbage out of the garden. We had Swiss chard last night, and last week we finished up my fall potatoes that I planted midsummer. There's I picked a whole bunch of green tomatoes, and they're all sitting down on the ping pong table ripening, and we're probably going to make some salsa. And some falls I plant fall beans and we can them and use those to feed us over the winter time. And I seem to be getting a little bit off track, but I think you get the idea here. As you're helping the customer so that they can succeed with their garden, they're seeing that you have a chart with your name on it that's valuable to them. Okay, and they understand what it is, how they can use it, and they want one. And so now you can provide it in a like a napkin holder. You can see my homemade napkin holder. And you can start selling them. And what you have then is a promotional item that pays you back. Everyone that goes out has your name on it and reminds them of your store. Now there's several other really helpful uses of the slide chart for promoting. For instance, some stores have classes that they hold, and sometimes in conjunction with the Master Gardeners. The Master Gardeners really like my chart. I think I have 36 different groups that are customizing the chart with their name and contact information on it. They use them as a promotional item, as a teaching tool, and as a fundraiser with their spring plant sales. And again, I seem to be getting off track, but if your store is associated with gardening classes, you want to make sure that the students get this as part of their educational materials. Some stores also have a booth in the garden show, and this is an ideal, or like in the home show in the spring, the chart is an ideal item to take and just give away. You don't have to give away a lot, but give away a few to get your name out at the garden show. If your store does a spring open house, come on down, all you gardeners, and we'll help you get started with your garden. What you might offer is the first 20 gardeners get one of our really cool vegetable planting slide charts. And so it becomes a come on down, we'll give you something, The chart also works really dandy as a premium to increase the dollar sale. You might say, well, we give away one of our cool charts free with a $50 purchase of gardening related merchandise. If you have some customers that are really frequent customers, they come back in your store all the time and they love your store, you might just consider giving them a chart, just as a customer appreciation gift. And what will happen is they'll share that with others, and they'll share it, information about your store in a favorable light. Okay. Other purposes for promoting, I've seen the chart bundled with gardening related merchandise. We have one customer that bundles it with hand tools for gardening, and another one who bundles it with seed packets, like a kit. They have a kit with the garden planner as a part of the kit. You can bundle it with fertilizer, you can bundle it with potting soil, and you can bundle it with your seed starter kits. And so I think you can see probably that the chart really does have excellent promotional value and excellent teaching value, and allows you to step up in the area of customer service for gardeners. Folks can come to your store, and you're going to have more than just the merchandise. You're also going to have the direction and know-how and instruction to help them succeed with their gardens. And the charts go out from your store with your name on them, and they're less likely to be thrown out by your customers. They're not like a refrigerator magnet or a calendar that goes bad after years. The chart is good year after year. It's like your charts are probably going to turn up years later, still being used. And probably the last point that I would like to make is that when a customer receives the chart from you and they realize how much information is really on this and how helpful it is, they're going to be delighted. And they're going to be delighted with the chart and delighted with you for providing it. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen, and I really hope that this information turns out to be valuable.